friend. How are you?
How are ya?
So good, thank you. And you?
Yeah, very, very good. It's
So
amazing
happy to be with
you
you
on it.
finally.
Yeah, finally, we're getting on a call.
Great, I'm so happy.
How you been today? What you been up to?
Everything okay. I was with Sky, something to do always. I'm starting to having again many contacts. I'm gonna tell you also in the video, but also in this period, it's important to be in contact with people, just because you have to be always on, always.
Everything's building up for January. You're gonna have a big January.
Yes, let's hope. Yes.
Not much sleep in the transfer window. Our audience have sent in some questions for you, and we're gonna go through them. We'll have a chat, and hopefully we get to know you a little bit better, if that's all right.
Okay.
Let's crack on with it. So we've got the first one's come out, and it says, "What football team do you support?"
It's a difficult question because many times people ask me and they don't trust what I say, but my favorite team is Watford.
Oh, okay.
How is possible? Just because it's crazy. Obviously, I have a small team here in Italy. It's called Ternana. It's in third division, so it's not a famous team.
Yeah.
I follow closely always the situation of Watford. I am a big fan just because I was watching the special match, Watford-Leicester with Troy Deeney scoring after the penalty saved by
Amazing.
Almunia.
Yeah.
So it was a special feeling for me. And from this moment, I always had Watford in my heart, just because I also had the direct relationship with people at the club because they have Italian ownership, So I have been many times in Vicarage Road, and I love the club, I love the fans, I love Vicarage, I love everything of Watford. So yes, I am Watford fan.
I can see why people might not believe you. Everyone always expects someone to say a bigger team.
No, I don't like big clubs. Also here in Italy, it's just in my style. Also, when I play with Football Manager, with FIFA, we're going to talk about it. But when I play with this, I always go with small clubs, not with top clubs. I prefer to do the miracle, something.
Who are you playing with at the moment? Who are you going to take to the top?
And the moment I'm playing with Swindon.
Okay.
Clubs I play with Swindon for small clubs, and also Watford from Championship. So I always play with these two clubs when I play on FIFA and on Football Manager. In this moment, I'm playing with both. So FIFA Career Mode and Football Manager, obviously the new.
You say you spend quite a lot of time playing Football Manager or FIFA?
Yes.
Yeah.
And during the night, just because, also when I work during the window, when night comes, and sometimes I have some news during the night, so I have to be connected also like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., just because sometimes happens. For example, I remember last summer was Reguilón to Tottenham. Do you remember that it was Manchester United against Tottenham?
Yeah.
Last days, and I had the call to tell me Fabrizio he is going to Tottenham. It's a done deal. It was 4 a.m., so it was during the night, and I was playing Football Manager.
So Football Manager keeps you awake.
Yes, and I like also because during the day I always think to my work, only to transfers and more. So I want to be during the night like relaxing, playing is okay for me. So I like always staying with transfers and football.
Do you prefer Football Manager to FIFA?
Yes, just because it's more realistic, You have release clauses, you have real clubs like working. You can work about your team, you can choose about the staff, the director, everything.
Do you reckon you learn a lot from Football Manager?
Yes, but you always learn about players, about clubs, about history of the clubs, about many things. So it's important, in particular about players. If you work in journalism like I do, sometimes it happens you are live on TV and you have something new immediately and you are live and you know the player also if you have never watched anything of this player. Just because I remember one time we had Atalanta here in Italy working to sign Amartey, a midfielder, was at Leicester, but he was just in Denmark, if I don't remember so well, and he was from nowhere, and I knew about him because I had him.
I knew it. This is what I wanted to know. Football Manager is so important. Like I learned half the stuff I know. When I'm writing a bio, it can be about a player I've never watched, but when I'm writing a bio on a post, I already know their age, their nationality. You know everything just from there.
Yes, the same for Pedri from Barcelona, for example. Or I remember the first one, my biggest one was Mbappe. Mbappe, I remember he was so young at Monaco before he was playing for the first team. So he was from the youth team, sometimes with the first team training. And he was called Mbappe Loten, I remember. On the name. So I was calling him Loten and not Mbappe. And so it was crazy. And I signed him and look at what kind of player he became.
Yeah, wow. He's, very much transformed. When you were younger, did you always want to be a football reporter or did you have ambitions to be a footballer? Like, what was that like for you?
I don't know. I had the dream of being a
I
footballer.
think everyone
Obviously.
did, right?
Yes, yes. Everyone, obviously, yes. It was my dream. So obviously, but I was not trying so much really to be part of football world, just because I was not so skillful as you can hope to be just to
Where
become
did
a
you
footballer.
play on the
I was a
pitch?
centre back. I am a centre back because I play with my friends
Oh,
usually
okay.
when we can, not with the virus right now, but usually we try to play. And I am a centre back like Materazzi, this kind of centre back like fighters. I like fighters. Like Sergio Ramos is my favorite one right now, just because he's
Yeah, I love Ramos.
so passionate, so fighter. I like fighters.
So
So
important at centre back.
yes, yes, yes. But was my dream to be a footballer, but was impossible. So immediately after, when I was like 11, 12, I had the dream to work in football journalism. I have to be honest. At the first times, I was thinking, okay, I want like commenting matches, making interviews. I was not thinking about transfers because transfers is something that happens to you. You can't plan about it.
Yeah.
So you have to be really passionate about it. And I remember immediately after the first news I got when I was 16, it was totally casual with an agent who called me, and I didn't know about him, and he told me something about Icardi moving to Barcelona, from Barcelona to Italy, to Sampdoria. And from this time, I remember I always had the dream to work in transfers world, just because the feeling I had this time having a news, an important news,
Yeah.
was something special for me.
I feel that as well. That's exactly where I came from building transfers. I always had a dream of building my own sports company. And for me, it was always the one thing that I get most excited about is the transfer window. And I've always worked with social media and graphics. And I just thought, how can I put all these together? And then we got the name Transfers, which is like the best name we could possibly have for what we do. And it's just great fun. Like, we love working with the people we work with. We love working with you. We love everything about it. We love working in the sports world. And what would you say to young people would be the best route into this world?
First of all, I want to say congrats for your work you're doing with transfers, just because I love the page, and I follow the page. I follow everything you do. So I really like it, and your plans and your posts
Thank you very much.
and your mentality. So that's the key, in my opinion. Also for our listeners, I would say mentality is the key. If you want something, you can do it. You have to work with it. Always, always. You have to fight, just because, as I always say, I think to myself, and sometimes people that doesn't know about me, they ask me, okay, you are living like a star, you're a celebrity, and it's not like this. I live like a normal guy. I like to be like a really normal guy, just thinking to my work. I know if I go to think, okay, I am a top level finish, okay, I can stay like a king, I like a legend, okay, it's finished. The day after, I am died, just because there are a lot of great guys that are doing an amazing work in transfers. So to be always, and to aim to be the best one, you have to be always working on yourself, always improving. I remember when I was 17, 18, I was no one, obviously, in journalism world, but I was trying to read every day papers in England, papers in Spain, papers in Brazil, just to try also with languages to improve with my Spanish, with my Portuguese. So there are small details, but they make the difference. So work on yourself, improve yourself, because the key is be the best one about yourself.
I think what we've learned about me and you is that the way we've done what we've done and grown is a lot of Football Manager. Because I stay up all night playing Football Manager and build transfers.
But imagine that my biggest dream, if I had a dream right now in my life, is to be a manager, a real manager in a football club. So my dream is to become a manager. Yes, I love the style of managers like Mourinho, like Conte. I would be so passionate, like working 24 hours on my team. So I like it.
You would be the hardest working manager.
Yes. Tiki-taka, more than time, I would be a patient style.
I want to see that happen.
I hope one day.
I'd love that. We're posting about your team on transfer.
I'll give you the news in private.
So you got your podcast now, and we want to know, how did the term "Here We Go" start? Like, where did it come from?
It was totally casual, just because I was not planning to have my trademark. So it was nothing I said, okay, I wake up tomorrow morning and I say, I want to have my trademark.
It just fell into place.
No, it was totally. I remember I had the news about Manchester United, but really, to be honest, I don't remember what player. I don't remember, just because it was casual. So one day I tweeted about this player, and it was a long negotiation, typical from Manchester United. You have to wait 2 months to sign players. And it was so long, like day by day, tweeting about this player, updating about this deal. And then when finally it was over and it was a done deal, I
Yeah.
tweeted, okay, here we go. Like saying, okay, it's finished. Okay, you
It's
can.
gone everywhere now, isn't it?
Yes,
It's
yes,
Fabrizio Romano. Here we go, everywhere.
yes. It was the first time. And I remember the day after, also France from other clubs, when I was tweeting about Arsenal, about Chelsea, about Manchester City, and they were telling me, Fabrizio, say here we go. We can say here we go.
Fabrizio said, here we go, it's on.
So in this moment it became like something special, and I was liking it also because it's funny to say here we go instead of official deal. So that's it. That's how we started, but it was really casual. So I was not planning about it. So that's why I like it.
It's like the perfect slogan, and it's just perfect for this industry. I think the way news reporting and transfers have evolved is back in the day it would be, black and white on a website, a bit of text, but now it's become social media. You have the photos, you have the good bios, the emojis, you want to connect with people. And I feel like having a slogan like here we go is so important. And I do feel like it's just, you own it. It's fantastic.
Yes. I like it also because when I go around the streets here in Milano, I met with people and when they tell me, Fabrizio, if you don't say here we go, I don't trust. So I will start in player because if you don't say here we go, it's not done. And I say, don't worry.
We're going to ask you one question, and we want to know, if Man United had unlimited money, which player do you think they need to sign to get back into the, up there?
I would say, to be a dreamer, I would say Mbappe, because they need a top star. Being an honest guy, I would say Jadon Sancho. Because he's perfect. He's perfect for their style of football. He's perfect for Solskjaer, who wants Jadon Sancho since 1 year. He's insisting every day he wants Sancho. So sometimes you need this player and you have to sign this player just because you need him, also for the fans.
Yeah, for the fans,
Yes, it's important to have fans happy and convinced that your project is going on the right direction. So 100%. They need Sancho. They were needing Sancho last summer and they still need Sancho right now. So I hope they can sign him on next summer, just because they need this kind of player and they need to be happy with the top target signed like Sancho.
Do you think Tottenham can be up there this season? And do you think they could win the Premier League?
I think yes, just because just because I love Mourinho. So
yeah, anyone with Mourinho's got a chance.
Yes, he's one of my favorite, and every time I see Mourinho, I think he can win. So also in this chance, he can win with Tottenham after some difficult years for himself, but he is still a top manager. And it's always a crazy season, It's not a normal season because of the virus, because of the difficult summer. We play every 3 days and never stop. So it's a crazy and particular season, and in crazy season, everything can happen. So also a club unexpected like Tottenham can win the league, in my opinion. I say yes, they have good players. I love players like Reguilon also, with the right mentality, focused on football. And as I told you, it's a crazy season because if you see matches like Aston Villa with Liverpool and many others, you say it's not possible. It was impossible in football before COVID, before the virus. So right now, in my opinion, can happen. So I say yes.
I think they have the squad depth as well. I think Tottenham definitely have the squad depth to make it happen.
Yes.
We're really excited to see Bale back in the Premier League. So would you say Jose Mourinho is your favourite manager ever?
Good question. I would say one of my favorites, yes. I would say probably the best one. Yes, Mourinho and Conte are my favorite. Yes, like mentality. Yeah, just because I like the mentality, as I told you, like fighting, like living football as a war. So I like it. If I have to talk about style of football, I would say other managers like Klopp with his style is amazing. I love looking at Liverpool playing. Also sometimes with Guardiola. It was the first Guardiola with Barcelona. It was like not football. It was something different or another planet, because it was great to see. But with my idea of life, not just of football, but of life, because I remember a special sentence about Simeone, who is the third one after Mourinho and Conte. I would say Simeone too. He said, you are in your life as you are on the pitch. It's the same. Your mentality in your life is the same that you have on the pitch. So if you're a fighter, you will be a fighter. If you are a quality guy, you will be a quality player on the pitch. So it's the same. And I agree with him. So I think
you'd be a really good manager.
I would love.
I think even from speaking to you, I think you'd be a good manager.
I would love to be a manager. It would be my dream. Let's hope.
Is there a big team you would love to manage? If you could just randomly get in one Premier League team or Serie A team and you could manage?
That's a good question. I would tell you, I would say Atletico Madrid, just because I love Madrid as city. It's my favorite city in the world. And I would love to be on the other side, because with Real Madrid would be too easy. So to be with Atletico Madrid and try to fight against Barcelona and Real Madrid would be something special. So to be after Simeone, another fighter to Real Madrid, to Atletico Madrid would be great.
I would absolutely love us to be making graphics on you as a manager. You on the sideline throwing a water bottle down or something.
Yes, this kind of manager, perfect.
If you became the manager of Atletico Madrid and you needed to sign a young player which you thought could potentially win the Ballon d'Or in the future, like a young player that was coming up, who do you think out of the young players around right now has got the biggest possibility that you could easily say they'll probably win the Ballon d'Or?
Erling Haaland. No doubt. He's my favorite.
As well.
I also like Ansu Fati, Pedri, many others. Obviously, we have a lot of talents in this moment, so it's so good for football in general. But when I see Holland, I see something special, really, because I love him because he has the old style of the typical number 9, and it's so difficult to find in this moment in Europe this kind of player. You have Mbappe, yes, but he's not the typical number 9.
Yeah.
And he has the typical number 9, but he's also fast. He's also skillful. He scores goals. He plays with never pressure. He doesn't feel pressure. He's focused on football. I love it because you see also with your work, you see many times good players, great talents, but they are not just thinking about football, living like celebrities, playing with friends, and not just about football. He lives for football. He's focused on football. He's focused on improving himself. And that's why, because his dad was a football player. So he's coming from a family who knows about football. And that's why, in my opinion, he will be a Ballon d'Or winner 100%, I'm sure.
Unbelievable talent. We're big fans of Haaland, and we do love Ansu Fati as well. Ansu Fati is extremely exciting at his age to be playing in Barcelona's first team. We definitely think he could be there. And yeah, there's so many young talents around the world right now. We've got the greatest young talents, but in your opinion, who is the greatest footballer of all time? Who do you think?
I say Diego Maradona, no doubt about it. But not just because about what happened last week, but just because I'm from Napoli. My city is Napoli. I live in Milano, but I'm born in Napoli. My family is in Napoli. I was living in Napoli for 18 years. So it's my city. And in Napoli, Maradona is like God. You have to imagine that this player changed everything about the city. It's not just about football.
Yeah.
He won 2 times the Scudetto. He was a legend for the people. He was always fighting for the people, talking with the people as a normal guy, never acting like a star. So he was something special. He arrived to the most poor city in Italy, and we became in Napoli something special just because we had Maradona. So he changed everything about the society. It's not just about really the club or football or team or football players. It's something different. It's part of the history of the city and not just about the football club. And that's why I say Maradona over Messi, over Ronaldo, over many others.
It's very sad news. He was a true icon. We've been watching many highlight reels of his best goals. Sadly, I was way too young to have watched him on TV, but I very much enjoy watching his highlights. Is there a Maradona goal that stands out for you that you would say is his best goal he ever scored?
The best one, in my opinion, was against Juventus. The free kick against Juventus was something special. Obviously, you have many others also. The World Cup, everyone knows it. But here in Serie A, the best one was against Juventus. Was crazy. Was pure art, in my opinion. It's not football. It's really art. So you need a museum to talk about Maradona, to see and to show about Maradona goals, because it's special. And also, I would say about a player I saw with my own eyes is Ronaldo phenomenon. Ronaldo has been fantastic with Inter. I remember him with Inter here in Italy too, and obviously with Real Madrid, and obviously with Brazil. Wow, what a player. So I would say Maradona and Ronaldo.
Love that. That is the best answer you could have given. It's a very sad loss. The whole football world absolutely adores Diego Maradona. I hear that Napoli are thinking of renaming their stadium. Is that
they will? Yes, they will rename their stadium. They need obviously some weeks to complete everything with the major and everyone in the city, but is for sure they will change the name in some days, in some weeks. So it will be the Diego Maradona Stadium, and he's fantastic just because people are still also right now. Some minutes ago, one of my friends in Napoli sent me some pics that they are still outside the stadium.
Wow.
Thinking to Diego, sending things to Diego. So as I told you, he's like God in Napoli. He's not a football player. He's like God. Also, babies playing, guys with 5 years, 10 years, 12 years, they know because of the family, and everyone talks about Diego. He's part of the history of the city.
Yeah, it's a very worthy tribute for for a real icon. We got the January transfer window coming up, and I wanted to give you a chance to talk about your podcast and maybe tell the people what you talk about on there. And if anyone wants to come over and watch, then that'd be great.
Oh, yes, thank you. Just because I received for many years a lot of questions, of messages telling me, Fabrizio, why you don't hold a podcast talking about something more about, you can say, because it's impossible to say on a tweet or on a post on Instagram everything about the transfer.
Definitely,
so
yeah.
Sometimes you have details, you have something special behind the scenes, it's happening about top deals in particular. And that's why I decided to start my podcast. It's the Here We Go podcast on Patreon. It's just because I like this just because I can speak week by week about what's happening behind the scenes, the insight of the transfers. So like about the clauses, like details, like updates on new contracts prepared by the clubs. So my news will always be for free on my accounts, as always, on my channels, because I like that fans can see everything about that I know, just because I'm a football fan. So I want to be at the same level with people. I don't feel like the legend, the star. It's not in my style. I'm a normal guy, and I like that people are happy with what I say, not with who I am. So it's important what I say. And on this podcast, I try to say something more behind the scenes, details, insights. So that's the idea. It's going really well. People are appreciating it, so I'm happy.
I think that's why people like you so much. They love the personality. They love you.
Thank you.
No, we love working with you, and hopefully we have a good relationship going forward. Loads of good transfers, loads of good news. I'm guessing you're going to go back to playing Football Manager now.
Yes, later. Yes, I will for sure. No, I am so happy to talk with you. Really, congrats for the work you're doing. I'm so happy to share sometimes news with you and more. And we will for sure chat again on your YouTube channel. It's so good. So you're doing an amazing work really on social media, on YouTube, and keep going, because we will be back together.
I really appreciate that. I hope you have a great evening, and we will catch up soon.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you very much. Speak to you later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, my friend.